Can you? I just wanted to point that out. But tell us what you think about your boy Tyler. Tell me what you see.
So I don't know if you're able to see this on my
screen. Yeah, we can see it.
But I'm going to show some positive stuff here, and right here, a play like this, he's giving ground grudgingly, right? This one-on-one matchup, the guy decides he can't really get around him, so he just tries to power down the middle, and Tyler does a great job getting his feet set, getting his hands on first, and he shot them inside first, so he was in great position. And then when he lost leverage, you see him drop the hand to replace it, getting underneath and regain that inside position. Look, you see the defender grabs his wrist there?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that, you can work with that all day long.
So his ability to recover
this is what I expected. I knew he was capable, and seeing it show up on film is, look, they don't have a guy that they got to worry about. You know what I mean? They can be confident that this dude is going to continue to develop and put in work. I will say it's too early to be talking about the next Hall of Famer, right? He's got a lot of football to play and a lot of beasts to line up against, before we start claiming that. Like his week one matchup versus Philly is going to be a real test. And honestly, I love it because that's kind of a trial by fire, and that's the way I got introduced to the league. My very first game was against the White Freeney, Robert Mathis. So, he's got that caliber of interior D lineman coming to town, right?
God damn. Shout out to the Eagles Collective Podcast. What's good, fellas? How y'all doing, man? You know what I'm saying? I got my friend here, Eugene, Monroe, talking, film on some of the things that we've seen coming out of the Cowboys' last preseason game, talking about their pick TylerBooker, and what all Eugene thinks of basically the film and stuff like that. So that was the good, Eugene. Why don't you go ahead and give us what the bad is that you've noticed?
Honestly, there's not much bad, and,
there you go.
And really the things that I saw that weren't so great, issues that they're probably already ironed out in meetings and in practice by now.
Right. All coachable things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like this play here. This let's get this going. Damn. Clearly outside zone. Trying to get some stretch on the field so the back can pick his hole, make his cut on the read, right? But look what happens here. You see Tyler with that leakage, right? He didn't secure that guy. His backside hand was pretty weak on him, so he was able to shed this block, and this guy gets in and makes the play, right?
Right.
All coachable things, right? He didn't get physically dominated, right? He just, his footwork wasn't tight. He didn't control that backside hand, and as a result, the defender was able to shed and get in on the play.
Mm-hmm.
But you see some other times him completely stabilizing this same defender, this same guy getting nowhere, but he let him get a little something right there, right? And that's something that can be fixed easily.
Yeah. And again, like this was, Eugene, what's interesting is that this was his first game getting action, the second preseason game. You know what I'm saying? And so, to your point, if there's going to be, if this is what you saw the very first time he stepped on the field during live fire exercise, then you know what? Not a bad showing, right?
No, he ready.
Now again, this is, Dallas's twos against Baltimore's threes, I think, or twos or threes. And the different line combinations that's going to take place, throughout the course of the season, at some point or another, he may end up on the field rather than later. You know what I'm saying? And
so he's not currently a starter.
No,
Got it.
No, but I think he is now. I think he will be. You know what I'm saying? After this showing, you know what I'm saying? Now, do they put it all together? That's a different story because regardless.
Here, I don't know if you can see this, but
you can still see it.
He just has to get a little bit of patience on these games, right? He overcommits to the inside defender right here and gives up this outside leverage. And when you watch, he should have been called for holding here. I don't know that he was. He kind of saved the day holding this guy up, but he definitely overcommitted his footwork to the inside. not being patient. And, you know, we certainly don't want to see that. But look, he did whatever it took to keep the man off his quarterback. So, you know, I give him credit for that too. Yeah. It was good to see him get dirty out here.
Now, the Eagles Collective podcast says Booker was a good piece added to the Dallas O-line. I would agree with you on that. Julius Kurt says, I usually don't get overconfident on Eagles Cowboy. I am going to alternate the Eagles money line 13.5 plus 250 on Thursday, just like I did in Super Bowl 59. Eagles alternate money line was 13.5 plus 450. So, okay, I respect that, Julius. You know what I'm saying? I respect that, and I get it. You know, it's one of the things I was trying to tell folks yesterday on the call-in show was that, like, listen, the Eagles ranked 29th in the NFL listen to me, 29th. The Eagles ranked 4th in the NFL for the number of line combinations. We had 29 different line combinations throughout the course of last season, okay? And with all those different line combinations, we still were able to produce a 2,000-yard running back and a 1,000-yard wide receiver, you know? And so to me, that's a testament to the players buying into what's happening with Jeff Stoutland and his ability to coach these guys up and get them ready and that whole next man up mentality thing.
I mean, you look at this play here, he stretches this defender a good 15 yards, you know, off his spot on the line of scrimmage, and the back slips right up off his block. So, you know, while you can point out the knick-knack stuff, this kid's getting the job done, for sure.
And mind you, this is his first piece of action. You know what I'm saying? So, now, here's the thing. Will they have Drew says, question for Eugene. If Dallas is a pass-first team, how much will that affect Booker in his adjustments to playing guard?
Look at him right here. I mean, you know, it'd be even easier, right? Having the feet of a tackle playing on the inside, but the body of a big man, you know, as a guard, he's well-equipped to be very successful at this spot. And, I mean, he's showing it. Look, it doesn't look like he's struggling at all to keep this guy from bull rushing him. Right. You know, I like what I see with this kid, straight up. Like, I don't know who's starting over him. I don't know Dallas's roster. But if this is the next man up, they got some great depth.
Yeah. Well, no. They've got they have a lot more question marks with their ones on both sides of the ball than we do team-wide. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And
I wasn't comparing them to the Eagles. I was just speaking about the Cowboys themselves.
Yeah, no. I'm saying numbers-wise, number of question marks. You know what I'm saying? They got more question marks than we do. And when they're evaluating, you know, like right now, the way they're evaluating to, it's not just depth for them, but they're looking to plug and play guys on the ones. You know what I'm saying? They've got a lot of they can't run the ball, bro.
Well, they can run the ball. Watching this, I mean, if they do this, they're going to get some ground here.
Right. So
we'll take 5 all day.
God damn, this thing looks good. Okay, you was right, bro. All right. I'm just staring at this thing, and I'm like, damn. Think I can get crispier, but damn, I sure did. And I love it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Again, y'all, if you haven't already, please hook your boys up. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. We need to get these likes up. Y'all already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Again.
There's another real patient set from him.
Yeah.
The ball's out, right? But, you know, he did his job.
Yeah.
Gives the center all the help he can. Make sure he's secure in that gap. And then just patiently wait on the linebacker to come through.
Glad you're back, Joe. This is usually his take on TylerBooker, so you might want to pay attention to this.
Yeah, I like what I see, man.
Joe Damasi says Booker played very well. He's coming for the top dog, Drew.
He played good. I don't know that I called this very well, but he played good. Like, hold on, I got a clip here on this double team where it's really his turn to distribute the defender to his center who he's doubling with, and he kind of struggles to do that here. He doesn't get his pads low enough. He doesn't get under that shoulder to really press him onto the guard.
You got to move him laterally over to the from the guard to the center is what you're saying?
Yeah, they have this double team right at the point, and Tyler's way up high. Even look at his numbers here. His numbers are higher than the center's numbers and up and flat, so you can tell he's not really getting anything on that defender, kind of leaving the guard on his own to manage that guy, and then he gingerly just gets off and gets up to the next level. And really, he could have been more patient, committing more to that defender on the line before getting up to that backer. But, that stuff he'll learn over time.
Now, I asked you this before, and I thought about it, do you have a count in your head once the ball is snapped? 1, 2, 3, and then by certain numbers, you should be somewhere or this should have happened?
No, so what you understand, the language of the play call gives you a number of keys. It gives you formation, it gives you motion, which will help you determine, defensive position, coverage, potential blitzes. But what you also get usually is the quarterback's depth, either his positioning, receiving the ball, or how many steps he's going to drop back. So you can understand how you're going to get a rush based on that information. So there's definitely clues for the offensive line when that play call comes in. All right, I can expect the quarterback to be here or there, but you don't let your play clock go off, right? Because you never know what can happen. So it allows you to at least get an understanding of where the quarterback's going to be, where that defender is setting the depth of his rush. Right. But then you just got to play ball from there, so you can't let that timer go off.
Now, I remember, and listening to you say this, it helps me remember times where I've, had conversations with you like this and been a bit frustrated because I'm the only one having the conversation with you like this and hearing this perspective. But could you talk about the importance, particularly from an offensive lineman's perspective, of why it's so important to know what everybody is doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you always told me, I knew what I was doing. I knew what everybody on the line was doing. I knew what the wide receivers was doing. I knew what everybody was doing from their footwork.
You really have to. You have to know the whole picture. You have to understand the concepts. You have to understand what your coordinator's trying to get the defense to do. And quite frankly, when you understand those things, it makes your job as an offensive lineman easier because you can expect everything. You know what the defense is going to show you. And quite frankly, you've seen it enough on film. And especially as the year goes on and those defensive schemes start to set patterns and you can predict what they're going to do based on what you show them. Because you are who you are on film. I don't care how sexy the defensive coordinator thinks he can disguise his game. Like, we're going to see it on offense, especially up front first. So, and when you're at the tackle position, you're usually communicating it along with the center who can see the field, but you have a different vantage point, and you also have to communicate with your tight end right next to you, too, if he's there. So, just like understanding those schemes, understanding where everyone's supposed to be, understanding the back read, for example, is critical because you understand how important your block is.
Okay.
What you have, go ahead.
So, because I'm thinking about, you just said, my first game, I had to play Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm going, so Jesus, that means that even though you know what everybody's going to do, depending on who you lining up, that's going to alter the way you have to go about trying to get to where you want to do.
Like if you see this play here, Tyler just needs a little bit more patience on the first man in the double team, right? He doesn't give his center much here and then creeps up to the backer. Well, that backer's not even coming to the point of attack yet, right? He's just chilling, trying to read the back in the backfield. So he could have put a lot more into this double team. And ultimately, that defender made the play, right? So that's what I see here. Some people, I don't know the audio on here, but whoever's running this is giving Tyler a lot of credit for making a double team block here. But what I see is an undercommitment to the most important defender, right? The man on the line of scrimmage. They could have blown him off the ball. The backer wouldn't have mattered, but that guy ended up making the play.
And that was because they were a little timid in how they were going to get the guy off the ball.
Well, Tyler didn't commit to the double team.
Okay.
Right? He didn't put any – he didn't give him any shoulder, nothing. He just kind of took his step to that gap with his eyes on the defender the whole time, as they should be. That part's good, right? He recognizes his assignment, but he should have committed a bit more what is that, number 69 there on the center? Yeah, he should have committed just a bit more to that block.
Okay. Real quick, Dana, Joe Damassi says, I see good analysis, Eugene. Dana Scott says, Jason Kelsey did a great job of knowing what everyone was doing, but I'm biased because our O-line usually does well. Thank you for that, Dana. And what's interesting...
Jason Kelsey's not playing anymore.
Right, I was about to say. What's interesting is that when Jason Kelsey left and when he retired, the calling out of the protections and everything like that actually landed onto Jalen Hurts. So since last year, Jalen Hurts has been calling out the protections, which was new, because it was always Jason Kelsey. But now that he's not there, Jalen Hurts wanted to make sure he learned how to call out the protections and stuff like that. So, that's
and he should be able to, right? He's got to know where his protection's coming from. So it's easy enough for him to do that. But you do want your offensive line captaining those protections because they're the ones responsible for executing, right? So they should see it. They should know it. They should be able to read the defense just like the quarterback.
Right. And so do you think at this point, and I'm leaning back over to the Eagles for a minute, do you think at this point, I told you about the comments that Peyton Manning had to say about, Jalen, and you seeing, this steadily progression and everything like that. As an old lineman, you know what I'm saying, having a sort of kind of like a feel for how your quarterback approaches his game, what does that do for your confidence level in terms of knowing at least knowing this guy behind you knows you're protecting, knows exactly what they're doing?
I mean, to be honest, it's standard fare, and I would expect no less, right? So while it might seem like a raving review, like, dog, you better know where we're protecting you from. And quite frankly, the quarterback is in the protection meeting every time, so everyone's on the same page. And at the same time, while the offensive line is setting the protection, they better know where their quarterback is expected to set up and what might affect that setup as well. And that's why they meet together.
Yeah. Wow. This is I've always, because I'm telling, answer me this, and I know this is, I know a little bit of the hot sauce is going to be because you're a Raven and everything like that, but what do you, in your opinion, what do you think makes Jeff Stoutland a good offensive line coach? What is it that makes him so good?
To be honest,
Leo, your opinion?
To be honest, I really can't give opinion on that because I didn't spend any time with him. But I do know he's coached some great offensive lines. And right now, with the talent that he has on his offensive line, it'd be hard not to shine. But paired with a good coach, I mean, we see the product of that past few years with your team. So, like I told you, man, as long as the Eagles' offensive line is rocking how they are, it's going to be hard to beat. It's going to be hard to beat.
You know what, though, Eugene? Like, I always go back to we had, when he got there, right? When Jeff Stoutland got to the Philadelphia Eagles, it wasn't like a big fanfare thing. It wasn't like we knew it. Like they didn't announce it. It wasn't a whole lot to it like it was when Howard Mudd came to the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Everyone knew because, Howard Mudd was the offensive line coach during the Peyton Manning years in Indianapolis, and he was like one of those old school type of guys or what have you. But our O-lines historically, even under Jeff Stoutland, were good, but it was the Jordan Mailata experiment that really cemented it for me with him. You know what I'm saying? Because to be able to take a guy who was, a rugby player and didn't really play football like that until this opportunity.
Have you seen him play rugby? Have you? I mean, look, with that film and his size, bro, put him anywhere, plug him anywhere on the O-line. Just watch him work like that. That dude's a special talent. I love watching him play.
That's why I was, So, talk.
And just here, I got this clip going here. I don't know if your viewers can see it, but
yep, they can.
You know what I see here is that this Dallas front needs to do a bit more work on timing on games, on these TEs, on these tackle end switches. There's just a timing and patience thing that looks a little bit off to me. And it's the reason why they get any pressure here. This tackle set doesn't help either because he's setting at an angle. If he would have got up the field with a little more vertical push, he would have been in better position, not letting himself get picked as bad as he did here. He steps back into the block pretty strong, but, this could have been done a lot smoother in my opinion.
Right. Again, fix the ball coaching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, it's still training camp.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, it seems to me, and again, this is just, me relying on the older eyes who know this game and has played it at this level is saying, it's all sound to me. And this, again, I'm happy you guys are, wait a minute. Deshae Shaver says that Mailata struggles against speed rushers.
Struggles in what way? First of all, everyone he plays against is the best athlete on the field, and they get paid too. I see very differently. I don't see him struggling against speed rushers. I see him blanking those dudes out most of the time.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is, though? I think it's because Jordan Mailata doesn't shy away from
Wasn't he the highest graded offensive lineman in the league? You don't get those type of grades getting beat by speed rushers. That's just not.
But you know what it is, though, Eugene? Jordan's not shy about expressing his affinity for his competition.
For sure.
Saying, when you listen to the way he was talking about Myles Garrett, and appreciating going against him, because he said 1 minute he was there, and the next one he was like, oh shit, wait a minute, he's over there. What the hell?
That's how I felt about Freeney the first time I played against him. I call him a magician, dog. He was just disappearing on me with that spin move.
Really?
Oh man. I went back and watched that film. It is not pretty.
Listen, I'm only laughing because you was texting me when you were watching that film and the shit that you were saying. You also sent me the picture and everything too, so we're not gonna talk about that, and that's never gonna.
Yeah, I mean there were some battles. He won the majority of that day, but over the about 9 times I played against him, I did well. I did. Not that first game.
Yeah.